Love Them Knives channel? Yes, it is. We've got a knife today to look at. Have we done CH knives before? Yes, we have. Yes, we have. And this one is pretty incredible. Is that blue? I was supposed to get the dark blue one. Definition of blue. Whatever that is, that's, I guess, what this is supposed to be. Now, take a good look at this knife because it will not look like this in a couple of minutes because it's anodized. And you know what? I cleaned this up just before I turned the camera on, and so it's looking as good as it's gonna look. You got to throw a little Windex on it or something, even warm soap, whatever takes the oils off of it, because the finger oils, and this might help actually having this Band-Aid on, finger oils will affect the ano, especially certain colors that are a certain darkness. They tend to kind of wash out, as you can see here already being touched. But CH Knives model number 3505, it is an S35VN stonewash blade. It is a titanium frame lock, about 20%, 25% lockup flipper with a, let's hope, hardened steel insert in, yes, there is, in there. So, and I got this knife, at least a week ago, maybe almost 2 weeks ago. And I really like it. It's light. It's very flippable. It's perfectly centered. There's no blade play, no lock rock, nothing like that on this knife. I can live with the color. They come in different colors. And let's just look at that action again. Look at that double guard here. Kind of a dagger looking type knife, you know what I mean? But it's very light. It feels light in the hand. And it's like 3.5-inch blade. So it's real EDCable. It's very slender and it's not heavy at all. I didn't even look in here to see if they skeletonized anything, but I kind of doubt that they would have. Wouldn't need to, actually. So, no. Let me show you a little bit of paperwork. See, I got this one, which is called Colorful. This one, I don't know what they call that. I don't even think they call that blue. See, number 1, Colorful. This is Wisdom 888. So he's one of the heavy hitters on DHgate. I've bought stuff from him before, and he's really reliable, been around for a while, so that kind of thing. Or you can just get regular, silver with no patterning. So I got different patterning, as you can see in the blade. I mean, on the handle. $84.16 is his price, and they vary depending on who's got some on sale. So you can just type in CH3505, and there's a bunch of different sellers, so you can kind of look, see who's got them on sale, who's got the best prices. They vary. They can go up to like $96 in price. S35VN, 58 to 60 Rockwell hardness, and titanium on the handle. And somewhere in here gives you the metrics. Overall length, a little over 20 centimeters. Handle length, 11.4 centimeters, 8.8 centimeters, so about 88 millimeter blade length. That's 3.5, 3.5 inches. 3.2 millimeter blade thickness, S35VN. Stonewash, ball bearing, 155 grams. Well, knife weight, I'm sorry, 95 grams. It is light. It's very light. In any case. So this one has more, design in the handle. You don't have to get any design in the handle at all, or you can get the other color that has less design in the handle. So look online. I'll put the link in to Wisdom 888 to his, so you can look at the different options that you can get with this knife. Of course, I've done a lot of reviews on CH Knives. I know the owner of CH Knives. His name, well, I call him Ping. That's not his full name, but that's kind of what he goes by. He does the designs on these, and he used to, my understanding was that he used to work at Kaiser Knives. So, but I mean, he does his own thing now, so he's no longer with them. You got a nice little gold accent ring around the pivot. And of course, you can see 3505 is his model number on this knife. I know some people have said they don't care much for the Chinese characters here. That's part of his logo, So, and his logo has been redesigned from in the past. So this is his most current logo. As you can see, there's nothing really on the back of the blade other than the blade steel indication here. And of course, it's an open design. There are no standoffs in here, okay? There is a place to put a lanyard right through there. Here, you got me, A081, don't know what that stands for. Pocket clip is very, flat. It doesn't like tilt up. It's not like a stamped clip. So it's very, no hot spots, let's put it that way. You don't really feel it in your hand. The handle overall is pretty comfortable, but there's not much other than it's fairly just long and rectangular. A little bit of maybe kind of a Coke bottle here, kind of widens out in the middle, comes back in. A little bit kind of the coffin handle design here with these, with the end here. But I mean, you do have a lanyard hole available, and that presents, that also gives it a structural standoff at the end. And then you've got the pivot up here. So it looks like basically here and here, you got the screws to be able to disassemble this. No screw on this side, which is kind of nice. So it leaves it right there for the design. Gives it a clean look. So you got this guard here to keep you coming forward, either underneath or on top. No jimping up here, but kind of a place to put your thumb in case you want more control with the tip for cutting chores. It's the kind of grind that's a multi-purpose. You do have material out here for piercing. You can do a lot of slicing, obviously. How does it go here? Well, there's your angle. So as we know with the flippers, yeah. But that's pretty reasonable. It's not too bad. Some flippers give you even less than that. They're more angled. But in any case, no, I mean, it's a good blade design, pretty much a flat grind. You have jimping. On the flipper tab. You got jimping on that. Well, that's not a flipper tab, that's a guard. So either way, you've got jimping back here and up front here. Of course, this is to maybe provide a little bit of more traction here to keep your hand from going forward, as well as traction here to deploy the blade. And it flips really well. I mean, it's really nice. It doesn't have a hydraulic thing here because the blade's just pretty doggone light. But the detent's good. When you deploy it, it just flicks right out. Now, I think I put a couple of drops of nano oil on this. It was pretty good right out of the box, but then I put a couple of drops of nano oil on it, so, and worked it in, and you gotta, I don't know, it's like not your first flip is your worst flip, but about your 10th flip is your worst flip. It seems like they're always really good, and then somehow they just, it looks like maybe they needed the lube refreshed or something, and so I tend to maybe be a little bit too quick to throw lubrication on the pivots, and I don't necessarily disassemble them to do that. I didn't disassemble this, just, if you get the nano lube, it's got a long, real super thin barrel to be able to deliver the lube right down there to that pivot. And then you can just work it in, whether you want to, work it in this way or just, continue to open and close the knife to work it in, that kind of thing. But this one's pretty smooth. It's snappy. It's a snappy flipper. I don't know what I'd call it on my detent scale. It's, a 6.5. It'd be really hard to gravity flip this knife because it's so light. You don't have any weight here on the blade to be able to swing that out that way. It'd be extremely difficult. Now it's it's just because there's not enough inertia there with the weight. Come here, let's get a weight on this. Well, there you go, 3.4 ounces, and it is 95 grams. Pretty light, pretty doggone light, but still 3.5-inch blade. I mean, right there. Between 3 3/8 and 3.5. It just depends on where you lay your tape. So 88, millimeters overall, almost 8 inches. Really, really close to 8 inches, which is 20 centimeters. Okay, blade stock. And we got 3.3 millimeters, 3.27 millimeters, so it's over 3 millimeters. In inches, a little over 1/8 of an inch, 1.128. So, and overall width, let's get back to that, 0.44 of an inch. Come on, 11.17, right in there, millimeters. So fairly slender, very open design, easy disassembly because you just got these 2 points. You do have a hardened steel insert, S35VN, stonewash blade that looks pretty multi-purpose. And is it sharp out of the box? Well, let's try it out. Yeah, yes it is. Yes, it is. Wow, okay. That's impressive. Felt good. Felt like it was just gliding on through that paper. So that's, and of course the sharpness of a knife will vary because I think the way I've seen him do it on his Instagram is like a lot of places do. They got a guy that just stands there and puts an edge on him, and I'm sure it varies. You're better at one than you are at the other because you're not a machine and there's a little bit of inconsistency that goes on there. But this one, A-okay. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I do. What I like about this, and it's like, well, do you like this better than the 3501 or the 3504 or the 3503 or the 3002 or, I just enjoy seeing his designs come out one after the other. They're different, they're unique, you don't know if he's going to put out a knife that's got OS8, S35VN, M390, D2, so in the a year and a half ago, some of his knives were less expensive if you bought it in the MOV steels. And there was a D2 option or an S35VN option. Now, I don't see any right now in the MOVs. I haven't looked real hard, but it's like D2 was kind of the base on some of his knives. And then S35VN was always out on the 3504, the skull type knife. Now they make it without a skull. Then they make it smaller and without a skull. And if you go to his Instagram page, and I'll give you the link to his Facebook and his Instagram page, he puts out some interesting stuff there. There's a 3004 knife. There's a 3005 knife. I have them supposedly on order and in transit. So they will be interesting. Those are OS8 knives, and they're in the $48 to $55 range. So they're, right in to that, where you don't worry about buying a knife from China. Some people really don't like spending over $100. Some people are absolutely terrified of anything over $200. And I'm stupid enough to buy things at $300. So, but in any case, I think this is kind of a market niche that he feels he's good at. And so this knife here, though, is S35VN and titanium. And so, no, this is in the $90 to $85 to $90 range. So, but it's already anodized. It's got the contrasting gold collar around the pivot. It's got some design on the scales, as well as these little, as you can see, machined lines that are running through it. So, yeah, I mean, this all depends on you. What do you like? You buy what you like. You buy designs that you like. This is a very stiletto-looking type knife, which I thought was fascinating for him to be doing. And, you've got bearings on the pivot. The action is really nice. Materials are doggone good. I mean, S35VN, what do hey, that's a pretty good gold standard right there. And nice. Very light. I carried this only about twice since I've owned it, since I've received it. And you know what? I got this. I didn't get that from Wisdom 888. I got this from my buddy Mike in Tampa, Florida. He, I got to know him because of my YouTube site. And he sells on eBay, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but his seller name is Murano Beads. I think it's Murano Beads, Beads, and it's all one word. But so I keep him on my seller list because he's always got knives for sale, and they are knives that come off of DHgate or AliExpress. So, I mean, I piggybacked onto an order that he had put in and got my knife that way. So that's how I did it. Nothing like having a knife come from China, fly completely past Arizona out to Florida so he can turn around and mail it to me. That makes sense, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It was just convenient at that point. I think he may have got his guy over there because he has a contact to ship them a little quicker. So it probably all worked out in any case. And I might do that more in the future because then, I've got no worries on the shipping because if I don't get my knife, that means he didn't get his knives. And I have a feeling he's going to get his knives because he orders a lot of knives. So, they're going to feel like they don't want to mess him over. That's cool though. So I kind of keep looking at his auctions online. He's pretty good. One of our other viewers on YouTube said, I know that guy on YouTube. I've bought from him and he's really good. And one of our viewers up from New Jersey, it just caught it. And it's like, oh, I know that guy. Yeah. So in any case, just give him a little bit of shout out. It was nice for him to throw my little order on with his and get this knife to me. Much appreciated for that. And I like it. It's light. I mean, I always like these big, huge, massive, gigantic knives that are just monsters. But you know what? If you want something light and easy, and I took off with the wife to go up the mountain and had shorts on and stuff, and this one clipped right in my pocket, and you didn't even know it was there. I don't even know that you need the pocket clip that much. You can just throw it in your pocket. It's very compact, and it's really light, easy to carry, deploys great, and I actually got to use it. I had to cut away something from somewhere. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, packaging and stuff. We had bottles of water and stuff that we brought with us up to the lake. But in any case, yeah, I like it. It's sharp. It's light. It's colorful. But you don't have to have the design. You don't have to have the color. You can get just standard silver. So that's nice. Is $85 too much for S35VN and titanium? I don't know. You tell me. I think this is pretty reasonably priced considering the kind of knife it is. And you know what? It's probably darn well worth the money if it's a design that you really like. And I haven't had any quality control problems with CH knives. I know of the hundreds of people that I know that have bought CH knives, there's one or two out there that just did not have good luck. But by and large, everything I've heard from everybody online has been really positive. And I'm just dying for these other knives to come in. And they're going to be kind of smaller knives, not real big. I'm waiting for him to put out like a 4-inch blade, some monster knife. But right now he's working at the even 3 to 3.5 inch blade area. And this is definitely lighter. The 3002 was light. The 3001 is light. We'll see about the 04 and the 05. This is the 3505, not 3005. That will be coming. What do you think, guys? Maybe a little pimple-licious for you. Maybe need to go to the gray with the colored lines around it, or the all gray with no contrast. Either way, I really like it. It gives me a light carry option with a 3.5 inch blade. Just FYI, you want to put this next to the Mannix. Same size. Basically, same size. So that gives you an idea. Of course, the Mannix, very tall profile here. Where this one, very little real estate will be taken up in your pocket with this knife here. Very slender. Really at one time I pulled it out. I didn't even clip it back on my pocket. I have one thing. It is a pretty stiff clip now that I recall sliding it back in my pocket. And so at the time I didn't want to mess with it. I just threw it in my pocket. So I didn't even use a pocket clip. I used a pocket clip when I left the house, and then thereafter I just threw it in my pocket. Yeah, pocket clip it's a little bit of a push. It doesn't really just slide right on and off. You gotta kind of hold the edge of your pocket so it doesn't collapse it, and then it holds on for dear life. Let's put it that way. Yes. So it is pretty tight fit on the pocket. Probably better for lighter slacks, actually, than heavier denim like I had. But still, I just threw it in my pocket from there on out, and I didn't even know it was there. Wonderful. And, they come in box. This one was hysterical, and I'll try and let you go here pretty quick. Hysterical because I got a number 6 Torx wrench with this knife, and of course both of these are either a number 8 or 9. So this helps me none. I mean, even this right here is nothing. It just does not fit any of them. So it came with a wrench that is usable for something, but not for this knife. So that was nice. But, you know, they come in a good little box, and, you know, a plastic deal in here and then in the box. So it's well protected, especially when you get it shipped from China. You know, some of the other boxes can tend to get crushed and beat up. This one, they stay together really well. All right, you are dismissed. And stay around, subscribe if you'd like, you know, because we do stuff like this as opposed to just everybody jumping on the same bandwagon doing ZT or Benchmade or whatever, which I do a lot of, but we like to go a little off-road as often as possible just to do like Austin, Texas does, which is keep it weird. Or is that Portland? Oh, it's probably both of them. You know what we do here. We love them knives, so stay sharp.